Namaskar, I am Sunil Sononi from Nagar Junior College is presenting you 1.1 and Astrologer's Day Part 1 from punctually at midday to at the end of a day. Now listen carefully. Punctually at midday, he opened his bag and spread out his professional equipment, which consisted of a dozen cowrie shells, a square piece of cloth with obscure mystic charts on it, a notebook, and a bundle of Palmyra writing. His forehead was resplendent with sacred ash and vermilion, and his eyes sparkled with a sharp abnormal gleam, which was really an outcome of a continual searching look for customers, but which his simple clients took to be a prophetic light and felt comforted. The power of his eyes was considerably enhanced by their position, placed as they were between the painted forehead and the dark whiskers, which streamed down his cheeks. Even a half-wit's eyes would sparkle in such a setting. To crown the effect, he wound a saffron-colored turban around his head. This color scheme never failed. People were attracted to him as bees are attracted to cosmos or Delia stars. He sat under the boughs of a spreading tamarind tree, which flanked a path running through the town hall park. It was a remarkable place in many ways. Now, from this slide, we learn that exactly at midday, he opened his bag and spread out his professional equipment, which consisted of a dozen cowrie shells, a square piece of cloth with obscure mystic chart on it, a notebook, and a bundle of Palmyra writing. तर दुपारच्या वेळेस त्याने त्याची बॅग उघडली आणि त्यामधील त्याची व्यावसायिक साधने बाहेर काढली आणि पसरवली. त्यामध्ये एक डझन कवडी, एक चौकोनी कापडाचा तुकडा की ज्यावर एक रहस्यमय असा चार्ट होता की ज्याचं त्याला फक्त कळत होतं, a notebook and a bundle of Palmyra writing. एक notebook आणि एक हस्तरेषा चित्रांचं बंडल. His forehead was resplendent with sacred ash and vermilion. Resplendent म्हणजे काय, तर ब्राईट, डॅझलिंग अँड इम्प्रेसिव्ह, अतिशय चमकदार, भरदार. विथ सॅक्रेड ॲश अँड व्हर्मिलन. व्हर्मिलन म्हणजे काय, तर कुंकू, लाल भडक असं कुंकू त्याच्या कपाळावर त्याने लावलेलं होतं. His eyes sparkled with a sharp abnormal gleam, which was really an outcome of a continual searching look for customers, meaning that he was looking for his customers, but which his simple clients took to be a prophetic light and felt comforted. तो त्याचे ग्राहकांना शोधण्यासाठी त्याचे डोळे अतिशय जणू काही काहीतरी शोधत आहेत असं भासत होतं, आणि त्याचे ती भोळी भाबडे ग्राहक त्याच्याकडून भविष्याचा एक किरण, आशेचा किरण घेऊन जात होते. The power of his eyes was considerably enhanced by their position, placed as they were between the painted forehead and the dark whisker which streamed down his cheeks. Even half its eyes would sparkle in such a setting. त्याच्या डोळ्यांची ताकद, त्याचे रंगवलेले कपाळ आणि काड्यावर मिशा यांच्या मधोमध असल्यामुळे वाढलेली होती. म्हणजे ते उठून दिसत होते. त्याचे डोळे तेजस्वी होते कारण ते त्याचे रंगवलेले कपाळ आणि गालावरून उघडणाऱ्या काड्या त्याचे ते अर्धवट उघड्या डोळ्यांमध्ये चलाखी दिसून येत होती. To crown the effect, he wound a saffron-colored turban. टर्बन म्हणजे काय तर डोक्याला गुंडाळण्याचा फेटा. Around his head, his color skin never fade. तर त्याने डोक्याला एक नारंगी रंगाचे पागोटे गुंडाळलेले होते आणि ही रंगभूषा लोकांना मधमाशांप्रमाणे आकर्षित करत होती. People were attracted to him as bees are attracted to cosmos or Dahlia stars. He sat under the boughs of spreading tamarind tree, which flanked a path running through the town hall park. It was a remarkable place in many ways. त्या ठिकाणी एक चिंचेचं झाड होतं रस्त्याच्या कडेला. त्याच्या फांद्या रस्त्याच्या बाजूने झुकलेल्या होत्या आणि तो रस्ता टाउन हॉल पार्ककडे जात होता. ती जागा अनेक बाबतीत महत्वाची होती. A surging crowd was always moving up and down this narrow road from morning till night. A variety of trades and occupations was represented all along its way. Medicine sellers, sellers of stolen hardware and junk, magicians, and above all, an auctioneer of cheap cloth who created enough din all day to attract the whole town. Next to him in vociferousness came a vendor of fried groundnut who gave his ware a fancy name each day, calling it Bombay ice cream one day, and on the next, Delhi almond, and on the third, Raja's delicacy, and so on and so forth. And people flocked to him. A considerable portion of his crowd dallied before the astrologer too. The astrologer transacted his business by the light of a flare which crackled and smoked up above the groundnut heap nearby. Half the enchantment of the place was due to the fact that it did not have the benefit of municipal lighting. There was a surging crowd which was moving up and down that narrow road from morning till night, meaning that it was a very busy road throughout the whole day. त्या ठिकाणी तो जो रस्ता होता तो रस्ता अतिशय गजबजलेला होता आणि लोकांच्या उसळणाऱ्या लाटांनी तो भरलेला असे. त्या ठिकाणी and a variety of trades and occupations was represented all along its way. Medicine sellers, sellers of stolen hardware and junk, magician, and above all, an auctioneer of a cheap cloth who created enough din all day to attract the whole town. आणि मग त्या ठिकाणी जे अनेक व्यवसाय त्या रस्त्यावर चालत होते त्यामध्ये औषध विक्रेते, चोरीचा माल विकणारे, जादूगार, स्वस्ताच्या लिलाव पद्धतीने कपडे विकणारे की ज्यांच्यामुळे दिवसभर वर्दळ आणि गोंधळ राहत असे आणि ते पूर्ण गावाला ते ठिकाण आकर्षित करत असे. Next to him in vociferousness. Here vociferousness means being loud and noisy. अतिशय जोर जोरात ओरडणे. A vendor of fried groundnut. शेंगा भाजलेल्या शेंगा विक्रेता. Who gave his ware a fancy name each day, calling it Bombay ice cream, Delhi almond, Raja's delicacy. आणि मग तो शेंगा विक्रेता, भाजलेल्या शेंगा विक्रेता त्याच्या त्या शेंगांचा जो माल होता त्याला वेगवेगळी नावं, बॉम्बे आईस्क्रीम, दिल्ली आल्मॉन्ड, राजाज डिलिकेसी अशी वेगवेगळी नावं देत होता. अँड पीपल फ्लॉक टू हिम, meaning people were crowding to him. अनेक लोक त्याच्याकडे जात असत, फेरफटका मारत असत. A considerable portion of this crowd believed before the astrologer too. A considerable portion म्हणजे काही भाग, काही लोक हे believed म्हणजे meaning to waste their time just hanging around. फेरफटका मारण्यासाठी, त्यांच्या मौज मजा करण्यासाठी बाहेर पडलेले लोक टाइमपास करण्यासाठी ते सुद्धा ते ॲस्ट्रॉलॉजरकडे जात असत. The astrologer transacted his business by the light of a flare which crackled and smoked up above the groundnut heap nearby. आणि मग ॲस्ट्रॉलॉजरचा सुद्धा धंदा त्या शेंगा विक्रेत्याच्या शेंगांच्या ढिगाऱ्यावर ठेवलेल्या त्या दिव्याच्या उजेडामध्ये चालत असे. Half the enchantment of the place was due to the fact that it did not have the benefit of municipal lighting. There was no any benefit of municipal lighting. तर त्या ठिकाणी जे महानगरपालिकाच्या जे काही नगरपालिकेच्या ज्या काही लाईटची व्यवस्था ती व्यवस्थित नव्हती आणि त्यामुळे त्या ठिकाणी ती जागा वेगळी दिसत होती, तिला रंगरूप वेगळं प्राप्त झालेलं होतं. नेक्स्ट, the place was lit up by shop lights. One or two had hissing gas lights. Some had naked flares stuck on poles. Some were lit up by old cycle lamps, and one or two, like the astrologer, managed without lights of their own. It was a bewildering crisscross of light rays and moving shadows. These suited the astrologer very well, for the simple reason that he had not in the least intended to be an astrologer when he began life, and he knew no more what was going to happen to others than he knew what was going to happen to himself next minute. He was as much a stranger to the stars as were his innocent customers, yet he said things which pleased and astonished everyone. That was more a matter of study, practice, and shrewd guesswork. All the same, it was as much an honest man's labor as any other, and he deserved the wages he carried home at the end of a day. There was no municipal lighting properly settled. The place was lit up by shop lights. आणि मग म्हणून त्या ठिकाणी त्या दुकानांचे जे दिवे होते त्या दिव्यांनी ती जागा उजळून निघत असे. वन ऑर टू हॅड हिसिंग गॅस लाईट. हिसिंग म्हणजे काय तर फुसफुस असा आवाज करणार. तर त्या गॅस लाईट असतात, त्या आवाज येतो त्यांचा आणि प्रखर उजेड देणाऱ्या त्या गॅस लाईट असतात. Some had naked flares stuck on poles. पोलला लावलेल्या उघड्या वातींचे दिवे. Some were lit up by old cycle lamps. जुने सायकल लॅम्प्स, ज्याच्यावर डायनामीटर वगैरे असायचे असे तर ते. And one or two, like the astrologer, managed without lights of their own. And other like the astrologer too, as they had no their own lights. तर असे एक दोन अजून होते की जसे ॲस्ट्रॉलॉजर दुसऱ्याच्या दिव्याच्या उजेडामध्ये त्याचा धंदा चालत होते तसे ते सुद्धा चालू होते. इट वॉज अ बिविल्डरिंग क्रिसक्रॉस. बिविल्डरिंग म्हणजे कन्फ्युजिंग, बॅफलिंग, गोंधळात टाकणारी म्हणजे न समजणारी अशी. बिविल्डरिंग क्रिसक्रॉस. क्रिसक्रॉस म्हणजे तिरक्या आडव्या तिरव्या रेषा. तर अँड मुव्हिंग शॅडोज आणि हलणाऱ्या सावल्या. आणि मग त्या रात्रीच्या अंधारामध्ये जे दिवे लावलेले होते दुकानांचे त्या दुकानांच्या दिव्यांच्या किरणांनी, त्या लोकांच्या ये जा करण्यामुळे पडणाऱ्या सावल्या, इकडून तिकडे जाणाऱ्या सावल्या, त्यामुळे त्या ठिकाणी ते कन्फ्युजन निर्माण करणारे वाटत होते. This suited the astrologer very well for the simple reason that he had not in the least intended to be an astrologer when he began life. आणि मग तेव्हा this suited to the astrologer's life, as when he began his life he did not knew that he did not thought to be an astrologer. आणि मग त्याने जेव्हा तो ॲस्ट्रॉलॉजरचं जीवन त्याने सुरू केलं तेव्हा त्याने कधीही असा विचार केलेला नव्हता, आणि याच सिंपल कारणासाठी ते आडव्या तिडव्या पडणाऱ्या सावल्या या त्याच्या जीवनाला शोभणार होत्या. And he knew no more what was going to happen to others than he knew what was going to happen to himself next minute. आणि मग त्याला स्वतःबद्दल पुढे काय घडणार आहे हे नक्की माहिती होतं, ज्यापेक्षा त्याला लोकांच्या जीवनात काय घडणार आहे त्याची अजिबात माहिती नव्हती. He was as much a stranger to the stars as were his innocent customers, meaning that he was new to the place as he was a stranger to that place. No one was of his identification. त्या ठिकाणी तो अतिशय नवीन होता, एकदम नव्या ठिकाणी तो आलेला होता की ज्या ठिकाणी त्याला कोणीही ओळखू शकत नव्हता. Yet he said things were pleased to astonish everyone. That was more a matter of study, practice and shrewd guesswork. Yet he said things pleased to astonish everyone. आणि मग तो सांगायचा की जे काही आपण करू शकतो, इतरांना तो जो काही समाधानी आणि आश्चर्यचकित करणाऱ्या गोष्टी सांगत असे ते सर्व त्याचा सखोल अभ्यासामुळे आणि सरावामुळे आणि त्याने चलाखीने घेतलेल्या अंदाजामुळे शक्य होते. All the same, it was as much an honest man's labor as any other, and he deserved the wages he carried home at the end of a day. आणि मग इतरांप्रमाणेच तो त्याचा मेहनताना जे कामाचं मोल होतं ते घेण्यासाठी पात्र होता, आणि तो ते दिवसाच्या शेवटी घरी घेऊन जात असे. थँक्यू.